Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Welcome to EnglishEverest.com with me, Trevor Gordon. Today's lesson is Speaking Part 2. As you can see, the pictures kind of give away today's topic. But the topic is describe an occasion you got bored when you were with others. And the pictures kind of tell the story. And this is something that happens a lot these days. So you should say when it was, who you were with, why you were bored, and what you did. What you did about it, really. So again, to prepare, make some notes. Give yourself more than one idea. Write down some notes in your preparation time. That's what it's for. I've written several things for each one. At a friend's house, at a party, at a bar, at home, at school, at work. Could be anywhere. The reason you write these things down is to try and jog your memory. If you write down, for example, at a party, you might think, oh yes, I was at a party, I remember this happened. So write some things down. Hopefully they'll help you to remember a situation that really happened. If not, again, you can just make, doesn't have to be a real situation. The examiner doesn't know whether it's real or not. All they're listening for is your English and how you explain the topic. So, who you were with? Parents, classmates, friends, strangers, workmates, family, could be anybody. Why you were bored? Nobody was talking. Everyone was distracted. I could not talk to anyone. What you did? I went home. I got angry. I waited. I interrupted people. So all these things also will help you to plan the structure, because basically one thing goes into another and you can use those. Each thing can lead to the next part. So let's look at some some vocabulary. Disinterested, dull, annoyed, glued to, in their own worlds, becoming more normal, a distraction, ignorant, unaware of, rude and antisocial. So this vocabulary, as usual, is there to help you. Stop the video, look at the definitions. I don't need to go through all of them. You can just look at them in your own time. And of course, if you have your own vocabulary that you know or you think you can use on this topic, please use your own. Okay, let's begin. So follow along with the topic and try to learn and memorize. When I say memorize, I mean memorize some of the expressions, because a lot of the expressions you can use them in different situations. So I don't mean learn it word for word, just look at some expressions and use them. Okay, let's begin. A few weeks ago, I had been invited to meet some of my old college mates for lunch, as we had not seen each other for a while. I was really happy to have been invited and also looking forward to seeing some of my old classmates. We were going to meet for lunch in a bar we used to go to when we were at university, and I knew it would bring back memories. There was going to be a group of about 6 or 7 of us, which included my best friend Steve and another good friend, James. Although I was close to most of them, my mistake, I was closer to these two. As the day got closer, some of us in the group were texting each other to organise travel, the day, the time, and other things. I know everyone has a cell phone these days, as they are no longer a luxury but a necessity. On the day of the lunch, I arrived slightly early as I had to do some errands and decided to do them in the area near the bar we were meeting at. I ordered a drink and waited for the others. As they began arriving, we greeted each other and sat and chatted for a while. When we were all sat down, we got menus and talked about what food to order. The conversation continued and our meals arrived and we began to eat. Then, as some people began to finish their food and were waiting for the others to finish, I noticed that some of the guys picked up their phones and began to interact with them. Nothing unusual in that, but as more people finished, I noticed that this was the first thing they did. They went straight back to their phones. Again, this would not be so unusual if it was their normal day-to-day activities, but we were there to catch up and spend some time together chatting and catching up. But unfortunately, this was in between long periods of silence when everyone except myself was on their phones. After a short time, I started to become bored as no one was talking. We had finished eating, so there was nothing to do. I had cancelled some appointments to do that day and was thinking to myself that I could be doing some of these things instead of sitting there staring into space. I decided to do something drastic. I got up and announced that I was leaving. Everyone seemed to stop what they were doing and looked up. "Why are you going? We haven't had a chance to chat yet." I replied that everyone seemed to be more interested in talking to people who were not with us, so there was no need for me to be there. Immediately, everyone stopped using their phones and put them on the table. I told them if they wanted me to stay, they needed to turn off the phones and focus on our time. After that, we had a really good time, but I was astounded by how people are slaves to their cell phones and cannot seem to exist without them. I'm not a lover of cell phones, but I do appreciate technology and what it can do. But I think it also has its negative side, which is that people become a slave to it. Okay, so that's the talk. It's just over 2 minutes. You can remove some things, add some things, whatever you want to do. And of course, again, at the bottom, the underlined things that are not in the vocabulary section, they're here. So have a look at them. All of these things are explained here. And these are natural English expressions, so try to use some of them, try to learn some, and use them while you're speaking. Practice the format and the vocabulary, use them to fit the topic you're going to talk about. Remember, this question that we did today focuses on the situation and what you did. These are the main parts of the talk, so don't lose focus of what you're supposed to do. Okay? If you can't talk about a real activity that you know about, choose this one. Use this situation and practice it. Remember, the examiner doesn't care if it's a real situation or not. They don't know. All they're testing is your English. So, finally, good luck and keep practicing, and I will see you in the next video.